Royal Nyimba Kabamba Iguru, the son and heir of the late Omukama Olimi Kaboyo II, who ascended to the throne in 1995, will celebrate his 28th coronation at the Royal Palace in Porto this month. The Impango cultural ceremony takes 4 months of preparation. According to the Prime Minister of Tooro Kingdom, Kiyingi, will conduct several activities in the health sector, education sector and agriculture sector that will partly be presided over by His Royal Majesty Omukama Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru.
As I'm talking now, we have a health camp at our administration headquarters, Muchwa, where partners are treating malaria, diagnosing HIV, AIDS, post-trade tests, and so on.
Despite the organized activities, 28 years of Omukama Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru's reign have been associated with ups and downs. But what are some of these?
Our late king, Olimi Kaboyo II, passed away. The palace was in shambles. There was no infrastructure in the kingdom. But through the partnership of friends, we have been able, through the efforts of the Queen Mother, through the efforts of well-wishers, to rehabilitate our palace.
Omukama Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru, now aged 30 years, reigning as King of Tooro for 28 years. His reign has partly been faced with internal strifes involving rival members of the royal family, some eyeing his throne. However, the kingdom's Prime Minister Kiyingi says the internal strifes among members of the royal family are synonymous in many monarchies not new or limited to Tooro Kingdom.
The king ascended to the throne as the only boy child of a reigning king. So what you call struggles really are imaginary, because the king is fully bona fide as the king of Tooro, the only son of King Olimi Kaboyo II. Now, what you call strifes, really, I would say these are normal hiccups in the royal households, anywhere you will go.
The 1966 crisis in Uganda saw monarchies abolished and kingdom properties taken up by the central government.
I think I can say, without any fear of contradiction, that we have passed the stage of considering Sir Edward as a factor in Uganda politics. We'll leave it at that.
Tooro Kingdom was not exceptional. However, with the return of monarchies in Uganda in 1993, with Buganda Kingdom reclaiming the return of her properties from the central government, Tooro Kingdom, other than having the reinstatement of Omukama, many of its properties have not been returned, a matter that the kingdom's Prime Minister Kiyingi says remain unresolved despite behind-door engagements with the central government.
What I know is that we have talked with our colleagues in the Ministry of Lands and others. We have talked about low-hanging fruits. Before you go for the deeper fruits, you go for the low-hanging fruits. For example, our administration, where I sit myself, is the Muchwa complex. It was occupied by central government from 1967 up to 1993 and slightly beyond. This is an asset that was built by the late King Rukidi II, the second indeed, and this is where they gave it back to us in a dilapidated state. We need rental accruals, like they have done to Buganda. We need rental accruals. I am a prime minister that is encumbered in terms of being able to render these services. The services that we have projected to render to our people. So we do have these things. I don't want to use this occasion as if I'm negotiating with government, but that is exactly to answer your question. We are receiving, and we hope to continue receiving from the state what belongs to us as Tooro. And there is plenty that we are still demanding for.
Top among the demands are shared investments that Omukama Oyo II invested in Kabamba mines in Kasese district, which the kingdom still demands for, with accrued interest following the closure and collapse of Kabamba copper mines.
The late King Rukidi IV was a major shareholder in Kabamba mines. He put a lot of money into Kabamba mines as an individual. We do have these issues, but these are complex issues, but we do have legal claims for compensation. Tooro, we have very many prisons that were constructed by Tooro. We used to be I wanted to say pseudo-absolute monarchs. We have prisons. Many government institutions are sitting on those properties.
The kingdom also is demanding for the compensations from the central government about its historical sites and sources of revenue lost to Kasese district when the Bakonzo seceded from Tooro Kingdom in 1975.
There are some cultural sites that we want back. We are in the process, actually we are in the process of through what committee, we call it the Verification and Valuation Committee, between the Kingdom and the Ministry of Lands and other stakeholders, Attorney General's office and so forth.
Despite Tooro Kingdom demands, what has been the relationship of the kingdom with the central government over the years?
Basically have a good relationship with the central government. The challenges notwithstanding. Of course, you remember that it was Obote one actually, which abolished the kingdoms. And there are many people who could not believe that kingdoms would ever be established. And therefore, to have anything other than a good relationship with the central government that took it upon itself to return the kingdoms and even have an act, the Traditional Rulers Restitution Act.
As Tooro Kingdom celebrates the 28th coronation day of Omukama Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru's reign, the kingdom's prime minister appealed to all subjects of Omukama Oyo to remain united and stay away from rare conflicts that may divide the kingdom.
Abo bona abakwenda kuleta enyahukana na kwetegerezangana rundi nebigambo ebindi byone bitayina musingi. Nyimba terera nyabura inywe twegaite hamukama waitu Oyo Nyimba Kabamba Iguru wakana Rukidi wakana tuombeki ihanga lyetu lyato.